Welcome to Delta Lodge Outdoors, a podcast brought to you by Julius. Today, I'm actually driving while I record this, so might be some noise in the background or whatever. Then we'll have to convert it over, put it on podcast form. But just want to, get out there and talk to y'all. The weather, if you're in Louisiana, has been a little sucky the last week or so. I'm actually recording this one Tuesday, May 25th. It'll come out Friday, whatever this Friday is. No, today's Wednesday the 25th. So it'll come out the 28th. So get it recorded, swapped over hopefully today. Like I said, the quality may not be the best, but it will be just a rundown of a little bit of bullshit that's been going on with the weather. I mean, gotta love it in South Louisiana. So, it's pretty much rained every day. We're supposed to have like 95% chance of rain. I can't really complain. We have close friends out in Oklahoma that are begging for rain. You get people selling livestock because of the drought that's going on over there. So, it's one of those things. So, let's get into what we're going to talk about. Like the big taboo thing right now everybody's talking about is the Louisiana hunting license changes. I myself and my two boys and my daughter, who they're 9, 7, and 1. We all four have our lifetime. So I got theirs for them and myself actually earlier this year. So that was not a check I liked that we wanted to write, but it's like the way it was changing and everything. It's like going and take care of those three. Then the hunter, what is it? It was Louisiana Paradise or whatever license. Was a little over $100 a year for me. So basically, 5 years, and I've paid for a lifetime license, and so it was kind of I didn't like buying it, being $500 just for me to have it for lifetime because of my age, being 37. But at the same time, it's, you know, I've been buying a hunt license since I was 16. I haven't always bought the Louisiana Sportsman when it was $100. Well, since they've offered it, I've bought it for the last few years. So it's just one of those things where sitting down looking at it, it made sense for me also at the time. Like I said, the kids, obviously it made sense. With their age, it was 3, 2, and 2, or 2, 2, 2. I don't remember the exact number. I just know that, you know, got all of them that day. It took a few weeks to get all the paperwork in. And I actually have mine set up through my, I have the iWallet on with my Louisiana license, driver's license on my phone. And I can actually have it where it pulls up my hunting license and shows the lifetime there. It also shows my hunter's education number, and since they changed that law a few years ago and changed it from like if you were born after 1988, they swapped it to like 1984 or 82 or something like that on boater education. You have to have a boater education card if you're born after like 1984 to be able to operate a boat, unless you're with someone that's older than the limit. So I have the boater education and the hunter's education, then my lifetime license. And then the only thing that my lifetime license doesn't cover pretty much is my trapping stuff, because I am a Louisiana State nuisance certified trapper. So I have to buy that separate every year still. But, it's, I think $25 or something extra every year. Then 25 for my coyote permit with that, then 25 to keep that. So basically I still have to spend $75 to $100 a year more in license. So, that was one reason I chose to get away from that's one reason I chose to go on and just buy the Sportsman and take the lifetime and take the lick, due to the fact that I'm still going to drop $75 to $100 in license every year, but that's better than spending $200 every year. So, let's see, the way they're doing it with kids, there's a lot of, Like, I want to say, if they don't have a lifetime license, it's like $5 a year for them to hunt now. Is what they were. Is what I don't know if that's going into effect or if it was just something they were discussing, because I saw that a while back. And I know other states have that already, and it's like, Louisiana's jacked up in a lot of ways with how they do stuff. There's no doubt there. From we could start from anything, politics, hunting, the private water issues that we have in the fishing world. Sorry, I dropped something. I'm trying to get it. Sitting at a red light. But the private issues we have water wise, it's just so many weird things Louisiana does. But one thing that we have a pretty long hunting season compared to some of the states. They're kind of liberal on how many they allow us to kill, which I think that's a whole nother story and podcast about you know the different areas in the state. Uh, the different areas in the state having to follow different rules with how many they're allowed to kill, and I kind of feel that the three, like area 4 is allowed 3. I kind of feel that's a number that we should probably drop back to for a few years statewide. Just my opinion, to kind of give our deer herd a reprieve because of all the stuff that's happened in the last few years. We between hurricanes and the freezing weather that they didn't expect that February. I mean, it's just so many variables that I think a few years of a slower season could help, because from the numbers, if you look, you can pull some numbers up. They say we had right at 1 million head in a deer herd, say somewhere around 8 to 10 years ago, but now we're less than 500,000. Probably need to evaluate that situation, but that's a whole other podcast, and that is way above my pay grade, as they'd say, because I mean, that's for our state biologists to figure out. And if anybody that's listening to it can get us a biologist on to talk it, we'd love to have them on. Like, all they gotta do is reach out to us at Delta Plodge Outdoors, info at deltaflodgeoutdoors.com, or they can call 225-503-9986. It's 225-503-9986. It's the Delta Plodge number to discuss anything and see about getting on the podcast with it. Or if anybody else wants to, want to come in and call in and talk, we'll set that up so y'all can reach out to us. Like I said, the license going into effect 6 days from now, so that's been a big thing on all the the Facebook pages for the wildlife managements and Louisiana hunters, and just everybody's want to make a big deal about it. It's like, I kind of feel like Louisiana shot themselves in the foot with this one, because when they changed it up, a lot of people went and bought lifetime license. I mean, like I said, I'm 37. I've never had a lifetime license. I bought one when I was buying my kids just because of the way it was changing up. So, I kind of feel like a lot of people did what I did. I think they hurt themselves like money-wise for the state when it comes to collecting money from the license fees. Hopefully I'm wrong, because like I said, once again, that's above, my pay grade. So we're let's see, battling. Like I said, we're battling some weather down here. I'm actually headed to a job site this morning to check it out, see how wet it really is, because it's a big sidewalk job, pouring concrete and everything. It's like, probably not happening for it all this week, due to it's a state slash like city slash DOT state job, so there's strict rules we have to follow on what we can do, when we can do it, and how we can do it. So I'm just going over there to check it out, as since I'm supposed to be the one making the decision. So I figured I'd record this one while I was driving over there. Doesn't really hurt. Mainly sitting at red lights. Um, the the spring squirrel season, I didn't really get out to make any hunts. I had some stuff that ended up coming up that I had to do. You know, it'll probably get out. You know, my mother-in-law and father-in-law and them don't know yet. Myself and my wife bought a colt, a little 1-year-old horse, little stud horse that have at my grandfather's. We're starting to train and everything. My grandfather is 79 and still rides every day. Trains horses. It's actually amazing. I'm half that age, and you know, I'm in awe at how well he gets around and does everything he does. So he's very fortunate, but he also works out like every day too. So it's just he's one of those that it, he'll be yeah he'll be 79 actually next month, July the 8th. So 78 still riding colts and everything. So it's two, like I'm talking like training and breaking 2-year-olds, and you know got he's got a 3-year-old at the house now that we've been roping off of, and he's like getting used to roping and everything. It's kind of crazy. He's in great shape. When I'm that age, I hope in like half the shape of him. Like I'll be lucky if I am. He's just he's got a drive and determination for what he loves, and that's what he loves. But we picked one up, and that way I could get my little boys I grew up around it, so I want my little boys to start being around it, because I mean, like I said, they're 9 and 7, and what I take for, and this is a big thing in life for everybody, what I take for granted that I was around all the time, and was fortunate that I was around it all the time. We always had horses, a few roping steers went in and out. We calves. We was always doing something, and that aspect. And I was always hunting and fishing. So I mean, I was involved in a lot of stuff, just outdoor wise. And yeah, my little boys hunt and fish, but like that world of growing up around that, they they didn't know it. And it's like, wow, like my grandfather's 3 miles from us, and I haven't ever just had them there when he's riding and doing. You know, hell, like I said, they're 9 and 7. I don't think they've ever ridden a horse, and it was like, that hit me, and I'm kind of like, man, I'm failing there, because like, it's just simple. Something that simple can be, you know, life changing to them. Being able to get there and see and do, and it's like I know this one's kind of going into a weird and deeper than what I usually do, but we as parents, there's the world's changed a lot, and I'm recording this one after the Uvalde, shooting yesterday at the school. Like, my heart goes out to everybody involved, like the parents of the children and everything. I hate it. It's, I'm not trying to piss anybody off here. It's not a gun problem, it's a culture problem. And that's a whole, I could go on for hours and that, and, get in a lot of trouble. So I don't want to go off into that. I think we need to, not take things for granted anymore, and like, because it can change in a flash, in the blink of an eye. Um, Not trying to get on a somber note there, and I apologize to anybody listening. And like I said, we're gonna keep all the families in our prayers, and it's a sad day. Uh, Once again, not to offend anyone, it's not a gun problem; it's a culture problem that needs to be addressed. Like, laws aren't gonna fix problems like this. Laws are only for honest people. You know, just like locks. Locks only keep honest people from breaking out. You know, laws are the same way. Like you, felons get arrested all the time carrying guns. And it's like, oh no, that was against the law for them, right? You know. Like I said, I'm not trying to get into that. I don't want to offend anybody. Like with my stance on that. That's my stance. You have your stance if it's different, and I'm you know I can have an intelligent conversation with you about it, and like we can talk points. I don't, you know, I can like everybody's entitled to their different opinion. So that, you know, I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. We're just gonna, like I said, the license. This one will come out Friday. The license Friday. Today's 25th. Friday the 27th. This one comes out. Your license go up June 1st in the state of Louisiana, and they change a bunch of stuff. So you need to get out there and get your hunting license. Lifetime if you're able to for your kids. Also, from what I was reading on it, Louisiana regular license are going to be valid from 1 year from the date of purchase. We used to run like July 1st to June 31st or whatever it is. So it ran like that. Now, if you buy, from what they're saying, if you buy one October 1st, it's going to be good to the following October 1st. So some states already do that. I know, like my fishing license in Texas is valid a year from the day I buy it. So hunting license, I've only had like the exotic hunting license in Texas. So you can buy like a 5-day exotic for like $48, I think. And I think you can buy a 1-year exotic for like 110. I'm not real sure. It's been a few years since I got one. So that's that's I think there's pros and cons to the license changing. Um, the pros, they got a lot of people jump out and spend some money. The cons is they got a lot of people to jump out and spend some money now. Let's see how it affects the budget in a couple of years. Um, we're gonna this just be a short podcast. Like I said, I kind of rambled. It was, there's so much on my mind involving just everything going on, and I wanted to record one and just talk a minute. And like I said, look, step back. Like as parents, like I said, I had to step back and look at some of the stuff I take for granted that I did all the time growing up that I hadn't had my kids involved in that world. I'm like, it's a simple like thing. So, like it was simple to have them over there to see the horses and be able to learn to ride and do, and I hadn't done that. So it's like we started, a week ago. I've started teaching. Uh, they got some ropes and they're learning how to rope and everything. It's really cool. I'll probably end up throwing some videos on Facebook, on the Delta Lodge Facebook channel, Facebook page, and probably something on YouTube before long, just to get show. And it's like, enjoy the time you have with everything you do outdoors, because it doesn't matter if you hunt, fish, if you're a farmer or rancher, like whatever you want to call it. Everybody's the same. Like it's so that's the big deal. The big thing to me here on the takeaway of everything going on. Like I said, I apologize. I don't want to be somber or just upset anybody, offend anyone. But y'all are welcome anytime to text us at 225-503-9986 or call. See if we can set up a time to get other people on the podcast and some opinions, and if we can get a biologist or anything like that. More than happy to try to work it out. This is Julius Craig with Delta Lodge Outdoors. We appreciate y'all's time today. Take a look at the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. Click subscribe to it all and stay up to date with everything we got going on. Thanks.